A week after Israel's big political explosion, when the Justice and Finance ministers, Tzipi Livni and Yair Lapid, were fired and the other ministers from their parties resigned, empty chairs at the Sunday morning cabinet meeting. This new odd atmosphere provided food for thought for the remaining ministers.
We will eventually get to the Italian state, where every government survived for a year and a half. We need to aim at reasonable governance. There are only two potential prime ministers, Herzog from the left wing and Netanyahu from the center right.
I object to elections. It's better to have a last-minute new coalition, and it is mainly up to the prime minister.
But the sparse presence at the cabinet meeting does not mean Israeli politicians use the weekend to rest. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is rethinking the whole early election idea. In a last-ditch attempt to avoid going to the polls, he reportedly tried to convince Foreign Minister Avigdor Lieberman to establish an alternative coalition by bringing on board the ultra-Orthodox parties, but Lieberman refused. The last polls were not positive for Prime Minister Netanyahu, something that is definitely getting to him. In the center-left camp, a new potential political coupling is making progress. Labour leader Isaac Herzog and Livni got even closer over the weekend, while trying to finalize the terms for a joint list.
I intend to win the next elections and establish the new government. This is the story.
The test is what will bring more votes to those who can defeat Netanyahu. There will be a joint list.
And while alignments are being made, the fear of new competition is growing. A law amendment saying new parties will not be able to get funding from banks might be a serious obstacle for Moshe Kahlon, a formerly Likud politician who is planning a comeback at the head of a new party. The amendment will be voted on Monday, and if passes, Kahlon's new party will have to campaign on a very low budget. In the meantime, Israeli President Ruvi Rivlin is looking at the big picture, and he's not very optimistic.
I have a fear that the public will not vote because of the lack of trust, and that's something that can really harm the democratic system. I hope the public will vote.
And while the plotting and scheming intensifies, only on Monday the Israeli parliament will officially vote to disperse. Until then, every imaginable scenario is possible.